Hello, today for review I've got HiBy Beans. It's a single dynamic driver earphones and HiBy announced them together with their player R2 and digital to-analog converter FD1. Because of simultaneous announcement, some reviewers and many buyers use them as a one single stack or as a combo, and HiBy sends them as a combo with slight discount. But I decided to make a separate reviews for all three gadgets because each of them is interesting separately, and these earphones are also pretty interesting offer, as the affordable model in their price is $70, or if you want them with upgrade cable you can get them for $80, but I don't know what is that cable. So basically it's not like absolutely entry level, but up to $100 it's still considered as an affordable models, or entry level or lower tier, anyway call it whatever you like. It's an interesting model that uses 10mm dynamic driver with carbon nanotube diaphragm, and basically let's have a closer look. Package is simple, it's black cardboard, looks minimalistic, no technical specifications on the back side, just address and information about HiBy. Then you need to cut two wires on top and on bottom, and then you can unpack this box and get the internals. So here the earphones themselves, but I put them in case already. Also small user guide. Do they have technical specifications here? So yes, 109 decibel sensitivity, 32 ohms of impedance, silver plated copper cable, 1.2 meter, so 0.78 millimeter 2-pin socket. Basically good normal specifications. You will get case, two additional pair of silicone tips, and earphones themselves. So let's untangle them. In terms of design, probably they can be considered as an unusual, because like 5 years ago it was common shape for all in-ear monitors, but nowadays we got used to that over-the-ear custom like shells. But this one is just simple rounded metal body with interesting polishing, with interesting shape. Here they are good looking, fitting nicely even into small ears, pretty well built, nicely polished, good lip for holding the tips, protective grill. So shape is really basic, but done nicely, looks good. You can wear them cable down, you can wear them over the ear. Sound isolation is about the average. It will be enough for noisy street, but not for subway or for the plane. Also they used a bit unusual softer silicone and also a bit unusual shape of tips, but they fit nicely, at least for me, so no problems here. And of course you can experiment with tips here too, so really good model in terms of fit, in terms of comfort and so on. Cable is made replaceable. Here used 2-pin connectors. Pay attention at the dots to get the proper phasing, and that's it. Stock cable itself average in terms of softness, even slightly softer than average. No ear hooks, but of course with ear hooks you won't be able to wear them cable down, and this is a common scenario for them. Cable is good, not getting too hard when it's cold outside, looks durable and pretty stylish, and goes down below to the regular 3.5mm jack, so in this aspect is also really good. So to summarize this part, normal package, normal accessory set, and good design. So nothing super fancy, but in terms of design and stock cable, they are really good. And of course about the sound, I gave them 48 hours of burn-in, and there were slight changes during first 5 hours or so. Of course, they require proper tip selection, because actually tip selection is required with all in-ear monitors, but with single driver ones, the results of improper fit is usually the most critical. So find the proper tips that will isolate your channel. I did try with them spin fits, I did try spiral dots, but actually the best result is I got with stock tips. So probably that unusual tips were selected based on the acoustic performance here. Let's have some player on the table, and to provide examples I will use that HiBy R8, because I don't have music loaded into R2, and also R8 has a bigger screen, so it looks fancier. In terms of sound, it's almost classical V-shaped signature with slightly added warmth on the low frequencies and on the mids. So it's a good organic representation done right, especially if you like a bit warmer and weightier signature. It's really finely tuned, so the train is passing behind my window. Hope it will do it quietly. So bass is accented, but not overdone. Accent is slightly above average, but not more than that. It's really good for the dynamic driver in the below $100 range. It has normal resolution. Of course, it's not comparable with expensive dynamic drivers or with balanced armatures, but still resolution is nice. It has good impact, good weight, nice punch, really pleasant low frequencies. This model is probably close to being bass head, but not there, because it's not overdone in terms of low frequencies, but bass is nice. Depth is good, and mid bass is nicely accented, so it's really pleasant listening model with electronic music, with I don't know, with pop music, but with acoustic instruments, with double bass, with low notes of fortepiano. They also sounding pretty good, thanks to the nice amount of small details. And as an example, I will use Hugh Laurie's Evenin. Usually I use it as an example for the mid frequencies, but here also present a nice part of acoustic double bass, and thanks to the slight accent here, it's sounding juicy and with good body and with nice definition. Mids are a bit recessed comparing with low frequencies, but not too much. They are not focused on the micro contrast, so it's not the model for those who want to have highlighted small nuances, for those who want natural and monitoring or micro contrast focused representation. No, it's not a model. It's model for those who prefer macro dynamics, who like emotions, who like a bit of additional weight and body. Resolution is nice, but it's dynamic driver nice. It's not the balanced armature level, it's not that focused on the small nuances. At the same time, they are pretty forgiving for the quality of records. They adding a bit of body to the instrument, to the vocal, and for the male vocals it's sounding really nice. And imaginary stage is slightly above average in width and about average in depth, common for the warm models of entry segment, with normal layering and good separation in width. And as an example, I've got Django soundtrack, Django Unchained, of course. It's I got a name, good track with nice guitars and with good vocal, and this earphones plays it really nicely. Also, I really like that effect of old gramophone here that gives you all that crackling and crackling noise at the beginning. And treble is slightly accented, so if you're super treble sensitive, it's better to listen them before buying, but for not super sensitive persons probably it will be okay, because it's a dynamic driver treble, it has average extension, and it has a bit slower attacks and decays, but normal resolution, meaning that it's a typical dynamic driver treble, not too forward, not too aggressive. And of course layering is super basic here, and overtone saturation is just average, but it's common also for this price range, so it's silly to expect some audiophilic pinnacles here, but still it's a good basic treble playing nicely percussions and all that other stuff. And as an example, here I got Led Zeppelin, Gallow's Pole. It starts with nice guitars, and this earphones plays it crisp and clean, and of course the guitars lacking a bit of rich overtones, but basic tones sounding nicely realistic, and also that applies to the plant's vocals because they sounding also pretty emotional. So to summarize once again, it's an inexpensive model with nice organic representation for those who like good bass and a bit of additional weight on mids and nice clean and crisp sound. It's of course it can be used with smartphones or with some tablets, but they were created mainly for the HiBy dubs, and they plays really good with R2, with R3, and with all other entry-level dubs. They are also good. I like pairing with HiBy's AP80, for example, because they are natural and sounding really well. Speaking about the comparisons, it's hard to compare them with something particular, because for quite a long time I didn't test dynamic driver models in this price range. Usually we've got some kind of hybrids, and with hybrids usually you will get more resolving mids with less weight. For example, KZ ZAX, it's true for that. It's true for Croce Form 1.1, also a bit more resolution, a bit less weight. I don't remember what else we've got. And other dynamic drivers, just what I can recall. Ostre KC09, it's old but gold model. Ostre is a bit Ostre have a bit less bass, especially deeper bass. This one is bassier, but Ostre has a bit more extended treble, if you like that. Alpha and Delta D6, it's polar opposite to this model. D6 is unusual dynamic driver for those who like resolving, natural and bright sound. And actually, yeah, I remember we've got tons of teen hi-fi models in this price range, but vast majority of teen hi-fi models more focused on the resolution. They are more natural. It's, for example, T3, T4, and they are more natural and more focused on the resolution. T2 Plus is a bit more resolving, but with less warmth, with less weight, with less bass presence. FIO FD1 also not comparable, because FD1 is more resolving and more aggressive in sound, so that's it. So to summarize everything, HiBy created a good model, really rare case nowadays. A warm, pleasant sound for those who like a bit of added weight. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.